So today the topic for discussion is the need of integrated theater commands. जो हमने सीरीज लॉन्च की थी IB ACIO पेपर 2 के लिए वो हम वैसे ही कंटिन्यू कर रहे हैं. So this is one of the important and evergreen topic for the CAP paper 2 as well as for the IB ACIO paper 2. So we will divide this topic as per we are going as per our tradition or the structure of teaching, understanding this topic. So it is important because government recently notified the Inter-Service Organization Act 2023, which is an important and significant step towards the theaterization of the armed forces. So this was in the news since 2023. Government recently notified the act. So we will understand the topic. So what are these integrated theater commands? Why India needs these integrated theater commands? What are the challenges in implementing theaterization? Steps taken by the government till now in this direction, and what should be the way forward? So your essay should be also in the same structure. You need to firstly explain what are these integrated theater commands or recent steps taken by the Ministry of Defense to bring theaterization. Second paragraph will about the needs, it will be about the challenges, government initiatives, and the way forward. You will end it on the positive note. Your essay or your answer or your argument, everything can be satisfied through this content. So firstly, we'll look at the what are the integrated theater command. So in a simple language, integrated theater command is a unified structure which consists about of the tri-service personals, and it is placed under a single commander for a specific geographical region. So एक ट्राई सर्विस का एक कमांड होता है जो स्पेसिफिक जोग्राफिकल रीजन के लिए क्रिएट किया जाता है, and it is placed under a single commander. So that single commander should have an authority to exercise the disciplinary as well as administrative control over these personals. These personals belong to the different branches of the armed forces such as army, navy, air force, and they are governed by the different acts of Army Act 1950, Navy Act 1950, Air Force Act. So there was a need of such bill to be introduced inter-service organization to empower the commander-in-chief or officer in command of these tri-service commands to exercise the disciplinary control authority over this personnel which belong to the different services. So you can understand the need of the topic by understanding what initiative government has taken recently. So due to this initiative, this topic becomes very important for our further understanding. So presently we have two tri-services commands. First is Andaman and Nicobar command, and second is the Strategic Forces command. So Strategic Forces command oversees the nuclear assets of our country about the nuclear deterrence capabilities. So administration of India's nuclear assets is placed under tri-service command, which is known as Strategic Forces command. So presently we have these two commands in India. So what is the need and importance of these integrated theater commands? So it will help enhance coordination among the tri-services. So cohesion, it will bring jointness among these three branches of the armed forces, and it will lead to the exchange of best practices, which will further improve the integration and interoperability. So there needs to be interoperability given the changing nature of the warfare in recent days. So operational effectiveness will enhance due to this jointness, cohesion, and exchange of best practices among these armed forces. Second is the optimization of resources. So what is optimization of resources? So resource pooling will occur. Due to this, resources available with the Air Force will be available to the Army. Resources with the Army will be available to the Air Force. So this will lead to the pooling of resources, and hence it will enhance the resource use efficiency. That will lead to the optimization of resources. This is an important good benefit of the theaterization of the command. Third is the changing nature of warfare. Our Chief of Defense Staff during Operation Sindoor has had repeatedly stressed on theaterization of command due to modern day warfare is not limited to the single domain. It's not limited to the army or navy or air force. It is becoming multi-domain in nature. So Kargil Review Committee as well as Shekatkar Committee. You remember this name or else note down in your notebook. These both committees had recommended creation of integrated theater commands. So this should be in your answer, and you should underline these important aspects. Fourth is the faster decision making. If you place a tri-service command under a single commander and empower it with the appropriate authority, then it will lead to the faster decision making, as well as it will separate the training sustain functions, which I have underlined here, from the operational functions. These two functions are different, as well as faster decision making will occur due to theaterization in the case of urgency. Further is the modernization of armed forces. So Defense Minister has declared 2025 as the year of reforms. So this year of reforms has several initiatives. One of the priority of this year of reforms is theaterization of command. which we are looking now. So 2025 is the year of reforms which prioritizes theaterization of command. So it makes this topic very important for IB ACO Tier 2 as well as CAPF. And this is an evergreen topic. You need to know everything about this topic in depth. So we will look at the challenges. What are the challenges faced by India in theaterization? So first of all, very important challenge is resource crunch. What will happen? It would add pressure on the existing resources. Mostly it will happen in the case of Air Force. Air Force have repeatedly stressed on very lack of adequate number of fighter jets. So it will create a resource crunch and resource deficit for the Air Force particularly. As Army has import manpower and resources with them, this resource crunch is more specified with the Air Force. So second is the inter-service competition. Inter-service competition among the Army, Navy, Air Force for the budgetary allocation and power. There has been pre-existing belief that there is the dominance of Army in the branches of the various armed forces. So this dominance of army because of its assets and manpower can act as a hurdle in integration of these theater commands in the jointness. So inter-service competition for budgetary allocation as well as for the power can create significant hurdles in this process. So we need to address these concerns for theaterization of the commands. Third is the perceptions about army dominance, which I talked about recently. That dominance of the army in case of manpower, assets available with the army can create hurdles in cohesion of these armed forces. Then, as we all know, that every armed forces has its own unique culture. It has own unique culture, norms, and traditional ways to function. So this may act as a hurdles or the stumbling blocks. So unique culture, norms, and traditions and way of operation. It would act as an impediment. It would act as a stumbling block in the achieving jointness among the members of the armed forces. Last is the administrative challenges. Implementation of theaterization would require significant amendments in the administration as well as what will be the command, who who will be accountable to whom, what will be the chain of flow of commands. This needs to be addressed. For there needs to be consensus among the different branches of the armed forces, which is one of the important hurdles in achieving the integration of these armed forces. So recently, government has taken significant steps to address this. First among them is passing of the inter-service organization, which I talked about, that it empowers commanders or officers in command of these tri-service commands to have disciplinary control as well as authority over the personnel from all the three services. Second is the creation of post of Chief of Defence Staff. This was a reform undertaken in 2019, I think so. This Chief of Defence Staff heads the Department of Military Affairs, and he also acts as a principal advisor to the Defence Ministry in case of tri-service matters. So creation of Chief of Defence Staff was an important step in the direction towards creation of integrated theater commands or theaterization of the armed forces. So creation of Department of Military Affairs, which is headed by the Chief of Defence Staff. This is also an important reform taken by the government, which would enhance the jointness among these three services. Recently, we observed that tri-service exercises such as Prachanda Prahar, Desert Hunt, which was launched by the Air Force. So all the members of armed forces participated in it. Means it was a tri-service exercises. So we are conducting joint course training courses for them, seminars and exercises to promote the cohesion among these forces. So these are the important steps taken by the government, which you should mention in your essay while writing about the integrated theater commands. While writing an argument, you can write about the challenges as well as the need or importance of this integrated theater commands. So the way forward there needs to be consensus building among the members of the armed forces. This there needs to be for the jointness and cohesion. There needs to be consensus building. Then government can hold consultation with the defense experts, officers, which can create a cohesive culture of shared values. Cohesive culture of shared values is must because each armed force has its unique way of operating, unique culture, unique traditions, unique norms. So there is need of creation of cohesive culture. Third is the phased implementation. So this theaterization of command should be implemented in as a pilot program. Then we need to address the challenges, identify the challenges, take reforms, and then implement it in the full way. So phased implementations of such reforms, because India has limited experience, can help in better achievement of theaterization of the commands. Then last is the promotion of tri-service culture through educational institutions such as NDA, which is a one of the primary educational institutions for the armed forces, where the training of the three services is conducted. Then last is the tri-service culture should be promoted through joint training and exercises, which we are taking right now, such as Desert Hut and Prachanda Prahar. So this is an important topic which will hardly take you 15 minutes for the completion, and you can have a 1-2 pager notes on this topic. So it will help you to write any essay or else answer as well as argument for this topic. So we'll continue this series, and thank you for the feedback for the previous videos. We'll keep coming with the new topics as the time left for the IB ACIO paper 2 has been, we have limited time. So we will come with the important topics. Thank you. We'll come with the new topic very soon.